All right. Hello, duelists. My name is Jules, and I wanted to start this YouTube channel off with a deck profile. So my goals with this channel are I just want to show my progression in the competitive world of Yu-Gi-Oh! And record this little video. I played a box tournament at No Limit Gaming in Kettering, Ohio. I was playing Drytron. And so in this video, I just want to go over my deck, my matchups, how I feel the deck performed, what changes I plan on making, and what my plans are for going forward. So let's kick things off. So for the Drytrons, for the monster lineup, we play 3 alpha. That's pretty standard. We play the 3 zeta, pretty standard. I played 2 gamma and a delta. So we play 4 names. This is 9 Drytrons, not including the other ways to get them that I'll get into in the spells. For the fairy lineup, we play 3 diviner, our normal summon of the deck. We play 3 Herald of Orange Light, and I'll explain this in a minute, with the 1 Eva. Yep. We'll just start putting these off to the side, I guess. We'll save that. Alright, for the rituals, save that too. We play the 1 Ben 10, the 1 Ida 10, the 1 Natasha, the 1 Herald of Perfection, and 1 Draconids. A lot of people still play these. A lot of people are putting back in Draconids. Perfection, there's a question between this and Ultimateness. I chose to play Perfection, and I'll explain why. And then Natasha, just as another fairy, another ritual to sack off the Drytrons. And yeah, just another option. So, and I like the Natasha. Probably going to keep that in for most of the time. Not that. And then this variant, I'm actually playing the very small Megalith package with 2 Fool and 1 Ophiel. Playing this package allows you to, if you don't get stopped, and you can play around like their hand traps and stuff the best you can, but if you're allowed to combo fully with Alpha Zeta, with the 3-card Megalith package, you can actually end on 6 Omni Negates with 5 with Herald and 1 with Dragoon. Because speaking of, I do play the Dragoon package, so just the Garnets and the 1 Fusion. Okay, and that's it for the monsters and the Dragoon package. For the spells, we play 3 Emergency, an extender to get you any of the Drytron names that you're missing. The 3 Nova, just as another way to do that. I wouldn't cut these at all. I play 3 Prep. I don't see myself playing any of the pre-prep because it would require me to play Dawn of the Herald, and I feel like, in my opinion, the preparation, it can search any ritual except for Draconids in this current deck list, and depending on how your play goes, this can also add back Medionis depending on the ritual spell for Drytrons, depending on how your combo works, like depending on where you get stopped and such, and so that can come in handy just as another way to extend. And that's it for like the starters and extenders for spells. I play the triple tactics talents. I play 3 of them. I'm not going to spend like $150 per copy of Forbidden Droplets until they get reprinted in December. Otherwise, I might consider cutting this for 3 droplet, just because droplet's so good. This actually worked out very well. It's very versatile, especially when you're kind of assuming that you're going to get hand trapped or something during your combo. This gives you the option of making sure you can look at your opponent's hand, make sure you're not going to get hand trapped again, rip something out, or if they went first and you went second, you can take one of their big monsters that's a problem, or just draw 2. It's very good. I'm very happy that Talents got reprinted. And the last 2 cards is 1 Foolish as like another starter, and then 1 Ritual spell. I was playing 2 at one point, but you rarely get punished for just playing 1, so I'd rather just play the 1. The main deck is 41, and we'll go in more in depth at the end. For the extra, play the 1 Link Karibo. If you Nova, you need a Link Karibo to get that Drytron off and use its effect. The 1 Verte, since we're playing the Dragoon package. 1 IP, just another way to clear space on your board or interact on your opponent's turn. I do play the Nightmare package with the 1 Phoenix and the 1 Unicorn with the IP. I played the Boral Sword Dragon instead of the Access Code. I feel like this is better for the crackback of breaking boards or pushing for an OTK rather than Access Code. And so I haven't had to make this yet. Most just scoop to like my negates. So I haven't had to use this yet, but I still feel like it's better than Access Code in a lot of ways. We do play the 1 Dragoon. For the XCs, we play 1 Downard, 1 Zeus. Always versatile, especially if your board gets stopped. If you can at least make Mu Beta, Downard Zeus is still an option. Play 1 M7. You need this with the Megalith package to grab back the Eva to use it again and get more fairies. So that's how you utilize Eva twice, is with this card. 1 Beatrice. Still pretty standard. We play the 2 Mu Betas. I haven't seen myself ever needing the 3rd, but I think 2 is perfect. 1 is just not enough. You need a 2nd if your first one gets stopped, or going on your 2nd turn afterwards just to continue to extend to make a board again. And then I play the 2 Arclights. Same sort of logic as the 2 Mu Betas. 1 for your turn 1 combo, and the 2nd one for continuing into your 2nd turn of play. Alright. And then for the side deck, I play 3 Droll for the Mirror, for Dragon Link, sometimes the Shadal. Lots of decks just need to search, just like I do, so Droll, really good in the side deck. Play the 3 Nibiru, other combo heavy decks, same sort of logic. If you know they're going to make a problem card that you have trouble stopping, Nibiru is a good option to stop them before they get to it. 3 Dark Ruler. If I wasn't playing Tactics in the main, I'd put in Dark Ruler in the main because I don't have droplets. But I feel like that plays too much into losing the die roll. So that's why I put this in the side. For back row decks, because they're still pretty popular, 2 Twin, 1 Harpies. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. There's an argument for Cosmics instead of Twin, but I just feel like the removal is a lot of the times more beneficial than the banishing. Only time that I think that would come in better is against like zombie variants, where I'd rather banish the zombie world or the Eldritch cards. And then lastly, 3 evenly, just a really good floodgate going second. You know, banish their board if they can't stop this. It really punishes your opponent. Love evenly. If you have it, you have it. So, in terms of changes to this deck, with the Megalith package that I'm playing, to optimize it better, I decided I'm going to cut the Dragoon package just so I can have more versatility in the main and extra deck. So that would leave me with 3 main deck slots available and 2 extra deck slots. Got the glare to move stuff around, and pull out some extra cards. Just because I have more space in the extra now, I will put in the access code, so that if I need it, I have it. I have the space now. And so that would replace the Dragoon. For the Verte, there have been times where I miss not having an extra Link 1 for my combo. So I was thinking of putting in Relinquished Anima, or alternatively I could put in the Entest just as another option instead of Arclight for breaking boards. Though to be honest, I think the Anima will come in better just to punish them depending on their zone placement and to help me in my combos, whereas I have other ways to break their board other than this. So and then for the main deck, I need to put back in the Called by the Grave. With my current list, space was tight, so I took it out. I'm actually going to put it back in. I'm going to up Gamma to 3 copies just so I have more names available, so I see them more. And last but not least, I'm going to take out the Perfection and put in Ultimateness instead, because Ultimateness is just a little bit more versatile. And the way the Megalith combo works, the way I'm searching this with Ben 10 doesn't change anything if I go from this to Ultimateness. And the only thing that really changes is Prep can't search this. But I think that's completely fine. It's a fair trade-off. And so with that, I'm actually saving a main deck slot. So I'll be at 40 cards after these changes in the main deck. But just real quickly, if you don't know what the Megalith package does in the Drytron combo, we'll go over it now really quickly. We'll need this, this, we'll need these, we'll need this, this, just so I don't have to search through my deck a million times. We'll need you, 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 and then link. Okay. All right, so for the Megalith combo, Assuming you go first and you don't get stopped by any hand traps, you'll have 3 extra cards in hand. We'll actually use this field center to keep our zones good. So you have 3 cards in hand with Alpha, Zeta. Alright. So we'll just start off with Alpha, tribute the Zeta. Alpha will search for Ben 10. We'll tribute Ben 10 for Zeta. Zeta will search for Meteonis. Ben 10 will search. First search, we're going to search Ida 10. Okay? And already, if they have Nibiru or something, you know, depending on your other 3 cards, one could be an Orange Light and another Fairy, or so on and so forth. You can adjust this combo depending on what you want to be protected from, depending on these 3 cards. But for now, we're just assuming that we're not going to get stopped. So we'll search Meteonis and Ida 10. Next, we will we'll overlay into Mu Beta. Mu Beta will send the Gamma. Next, we will activate the Meteonis. We'll detach the Zeta to bring out the Ben 10. We will then tribute off the Ben 10 for Gamma. Gamma will trigger special summoning Zeta, and then we'll get the next search off of Ben 10. Here we'll search Diviner. Next, we will reduce the Zeta by 1,000 to add back Meteonis. This is our one add back off of the Meteonis off of its own effect. So then we'll link off the reduced Zeta for the Link Karibo. Alright. Next, we will normal summon the Diviner, activate the Diviner to send the Arclight. Okay. Arclight will then search for our Megalith Fool. Oops. Alright. We will now Meteonis for the Fool, detaching the Alpha to special summon the Fool. We will activate Fool's effect on Ritual Summon to target the Ben 10. It will increase its level to 6 and add Ben 10 back to hand. After this, we will use its second effect to Ritual Summon Ophiel from deck, tributing off the Ben 10. To special summon the Ophiel. And then we'll stack our chain links. The Ben 10 search will be chain link 1 to block it, and the Ophiel search will be chain link 2 because generally they won't want to try to stop this. So off the Ophiel, we'll add the second copy of Fool, and then off of the Ben 10, we'll add Herald of Perfection. This is where you could also add Ultimateness if you ran that instead, which is why I say Ultimateness versus Perfection is going to change. Next, we will Ritual Summon with the Ophiel. So we will tribute off the Ophiel and the Fool from hand, which will be 6, to special summon the Ida 10. Ida 10 will activate its effect on Ritual Summon to add back the Meteonis. Now we will overlay the Diviner and the Ida 10 to make our Beatrice. We will detach specifically the Ida 10 because we're going to reuse it to send off of Beatrice. And we will send the Eva here. Okay. Eva will now trigger, and we will banish Ben 10 and the Arclight. If we get this far in the combo, we actually don't need to keep cycling Ben 10 because we will have little to no extra targets in our deck anyway. So we'll banish to add a Diviner and an Orange Light to our hand. Next, we will activate Megalith again. We will tribute off the Gamma this time to bring back the Ida 10. The Ida 10 will add back the Megalith to our hand. Next, we are going to overlay the level 6 Fool that we kept and the Ida 10. Whoops. For our copy of M7. And now we will activate M7, detaching the Ida 10 to add back the Eva. Now, you have a choice here. We're going to make Anaconda. We're going to use Link Karibo, and you have the choice of using either one of these. I've been choosing to send the Beatrice to have instant access to that Diviner Engrave for the next Eva trigger. And if M7 survives your next turn, it's another machine that you can tribute off with Megalith to continue your Drytron plays. So that's what I'll do. Right. So we'll link Karibo and Beatrice off to make our Verte. And Verte, of course, will pay 2,000 to send Red Eyes Fusion, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes Black Dragon to make our Dragoon. Alright. Next, we will activate Megalith for the last time this turn, tributing off the Mubeta to special summon our Perfection. So now, at the end of your turn, you have access to the 3 cards you started with. You have 3 fairies in hand to negate with. But if you send Eva to trigger, you'll banish your Diviner and your Ida 10. So you would probably first negate with Eva to then banish that, and then grab, your next 2 fairies. So far you have a total of 5 negates, fairy negates for Herald, and you can turn one of these cards into the 6th negate with Dragoon. So your opponent will start their turn now, and the only interaction that you have to do on their turn that might be stopped is the discarding the Eva to negate something and then triggering its effect. That could get called by or something, but that's the only thing that they can interact with, really. Otherwise, you have your Dragoon and your Perfection to stack your negates. And then if you have the ultimateness, you can stop special summons too. So I think I have to read it, but I think things like Sphere Mode can get stopped because it's an effect to special summon. So you can actually negate, I think you can negate that with ultimateness, which is better than this. This only stops monster effects, spells and traps, instead of special summons in addition, which is why I'm switching to ultimateness. And then what I'll demonstrate too is like the crackback turn 2 play. If your opponent wipes your board somehow and they play through all 6 negates, whoops, that doesn't matter, all 6 negates, and you're left with 2 cards in hand, this is what you can do. So you'll draw for turn. For this example, to make like the best optimal play, I say that you need to have one of these cards, whether it's the card you draw for turn or one of the cards that you already have in hand. You want a Drytron, so you have Cyber Emergency, Nova, so on and so forth, like that Drytron. You want to have one of those cards be it. So you'll start your turn 2. We'll say that they exhausted all of their resources trying to out that board in the 6 negates. So, because even if they like Dark Rulered you or Droplited you, you have 2 negates with Herald Diviner, and you still have one. Excuse me. And that would leave you with like 1 Diviner left in hand, actually, because you would, yeah. So you should have this as well, actually, for your turn 2. So turn 2, you'll normal summon the Diviner. You will send your Arclight. Arclight would search for your Draconids, I believe. Yeah, I think you can just search Draconids here. Next, you would tribute it for Alpha. Alpha would search you your Natasha that you have left over. I haven't actually done this play, so excuse me if I'm a little bit slow. You'll tribute the Alpha for the in graveyard Gamma, and we'll just special the Alpha again. We'll reduce this Alpha to add back Meteonis. And then, yeah, I believe here we'll overlay for our second copy of Mubeta. Mubeta will send our copy of Delta that we haven't used yet. Now we will Delta tributing our 1 Drytron, and then that'll net us an extra card to work with. Now we will Meteonis. For our Draconids. And oh, that's why. Next you will sorry, let me grab that first. You will activate Zeta, attributing the Natasha for Zeta, and then you can just link all 4 of these away into our Boral Sword. So on the Crackback, you have a Boral Sword that can break through whatever they're doing. You have a Draconids, which can send up to 2. So you can banish like Delta and Zeta or something, doesn't matter, to like send 2 off of this. This will also have a Boral Sword effect where it can just like attack multiple things. But really, this is over 8,000, so as long as they have a monster still. So this should be the Crackback OTK. But yeah, we'll just call it there. Don't want this video to get too long. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like and a comment. I would love to hear your feedback. I suppose you can subscribe too if you want to keep tabs on this journey. But without further ado, thank you guys so much. Again, my name is Jules, and have a wonderful day.